he has a plus and minus column. It's just, hey, what do I need to do? What's in it for me? What's in it for the party?
Yep. Collateral damage may be your job. Sorry. It's all about the Democrats, and it's always been that way. It really has. They don't really care that much about the people. That's a party that has for so long touted that, the party of tolerance, the party that cares about people. But last 10 years or so, they've shown their true colors.
Yeah, and it's been, the veil has come off. And what better time to talk about this than the present regarding confronting evil. And I know that's the name of Bill O'Reilly's book. And there seems to be a common thread that there is a line some people are willing to cross no matter what, to be able to meet whatever agenda they have, whether it's, total control or pushing a narrative. This is we live in incredible times, but we're not the first. And I look forward to our conversation with Bill O'Reilly. Ditch and I talk with him coming up next. But first, it's Fox News Radio, 7:30.
News. I'm CJ Papa. The grim job for authorities this morning at a burned-out church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Fox's Brooke Taylor is there.
Police say there are still people unaccounted for. They're digging through the church debris to find more victims. The shooter, identified as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford from Michigan. He was killed in a shootout with officers just minutes later. He was a Marine and served from 2004 to 2008 with deployments to Iraq.
Authorities say the suspect drove his truck into the front of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, started shooting, and then set fire to the house of worship. President Trump will meet with the top 4 leaders in Congress today. Republicans at odds with Democrats over a plan to keep the government funded until November 21st. The deadline is tomorrow night, and President Trump will also meet with his Israeli counterpart today to discuss the peace plan that's on the table to end the war in Gaza. America's listening to Fox News.
This report is sponsored by the Harlem Globetrotters.
Good morning. A crash on the right shoulder.
Hey, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'll get started. I'm going to give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Yahudash. I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostles, that millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, being a great example to Israel. All right, man, the elect. I want to say peace and blessings to the hope they look on the four corners, pushing in truth and sincerity. All right, the great song, that's your brother Naba. What an early morning stretch as we were listening to radio station, as I call it, radio station edification. And you see what's going on. All right, another side, all right, another man Christian, all right, which our Edomites is constantly doing these mass shootings as he ran head on to a church and started to shoot it up. All right, but guess what? You're not hearing this on the news. It's not, making mainstream. All right, because the focal point and the fingers is pointed towards who? The Israelites, which you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native American, Hispanics. See, y'all the problem. You see, and that's to show you that the world that we in, all right, is fulfilling, all right, through the scriptures. 144. Come about small shop. I don't have white truck. Y'all can see it. Yeah, man. But just know that the Lord's got us, man. Those that's in the household of faith, we're going to be A-okay, man. All right? But, yeah, this devil is being exposed. These Edomites losing it. All right? Because guess what? They're at the end of their kingdom. See, they thought the American dream was going to last forever. They thought their kids and their kids' kids was going to enjoy the supremacy that was set for them. All right? But guess what? They forgot the latter end. All right, like the world say, what goes around comes around, and we're in that time that is coming around, and judgment is pointed towards them when you look at prophecy. But let me turn this up. Like I say, Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters be edified, while I let it all down. Okay, it's still on commercial. So yeah, another mass shooting. 3 kids, Ohio. 3 kids just got killed at 3 different colleges in 3 different states just yesterday. All right, and within 1 week, all right, 3 kids, at a college just got killed. You see? So this is giving the so-called white man the power that be, the reason to bring down, all right, the hammer, all right, as it's shutting this place down. All right, put more security in place, put more force in place, put more cameras up. All right, because all this killing is going on. All right, out of nowhere, so to speak. But let's turn it up.
This morning, millions, of course, have read his books now with over 20 million books in print, but also, of course, many more have seen him on No Spin News. You can catch him on a lot of outlets, including YouTube. He's got an incredible following on YouTube. They try to slow him down, but you cannot stop the one and only Bill O'Reilly. Bill, it's always great to have you on in Memphis. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me in. Appreciate it.
Bill, it's great to have you join us here. And, you know, I just want to start by saying we're going to talk about the book. Tim and I have spent a lot of time this morning already talking about confronting evil. But I just want to, we want to say, you know, today is the day that the Trump administration is sending 13 federal agencies as well as what they call a force multiplier, the National Guard, to Memphis, Tennessee to fight crime. And, you know, Tim said earlier, says we should invite Bill to come visit us this week. This may be the safest time to come to Memphis.
Come have some barbecue, Bill.
Yeah, I hope they don't scare the ducks at the Peabody. My God. Look, I don't know the extent of violent crime in Memphis. I follow it up here in New York, obviously, but I haven't been down here in a while. I do know that people in certain neighborhoods in your town have a huge problem with evil. There's a lot of drug dealing, there's a lot of violence, and the local authorities are in and out. I mean, let's face it. You had that big police controversy a couple of years ago there. So I can't make the call from up here. What do the folks think? Do they want Trump's help here?
Yes, in fact, there's been several polls that have been put out, and a lot of the local TV stations, I think, have been shocked that around 80 to 85% of the people that are voting are saying, yes, please come. In fact, you've got people that are...
No, there's all the Republicans. All the Republicans is voting that they send National Guard. But those that are in the Democrat Party, they protesting, they marching, they fighting.
It's simple. You know this. People don't like crime. It doesn't matter what race is, what your background is, what your socioeconomic situation is. People generally don't like crime.
But in Chicago, for example, this comes down across racial lines. So the south side of Chicago, where there are literally thousands of African Americans who have lost their lives in the past 10 years because of these drug gangs who control the neighborhoods. The feeling is that Trump's the devil and we should be doing this or occupying whatever. It's not the same in Memphis, does it? It doesn't break down along racial lines there?
Yeah,
not as much.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to at this point. I think there is a tipping point where the pain of change is less than the pain of present. We have a lot of our African American neighbors that are dying in the streets, and a lot of this is due to gang violence, and I think a lot of that comes from not just gangs but drug cartels and more. And I guess there's really not a better time than the present to talk about your book, Confronting Evil, because I know you address in part of your book, and to an extent, how much drugs are killing Americans.
Well, look, I mean, if I'm in a situation in Memphis where I'm an elderly person who's afraid to go out and go to the grocery store, I want all the help I can get. That's just, right? That's just human nature. If I'm a parent and I've got little children who have to go to school and walk by depravity every day, I want help. Now, this is just logic to me. I mean, it's not politics at all. And what I don't understand is that the progressive left, and not all the elements of the Democratic Party, but some, are portraying Trump's actions to stabilize and protect people in neighborhoods at risk as some kind of fascist play. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. I'm a historian. And you guys, I'm sure, know that Eisenhower and John F. Kennedy both used federal troops to go down and enforce immigration laws. And they had a perfect right to do, those presidents had a right to do that because certain counties in the South were not obeying the law. And so the president does have the authority to do it. Whether the bill is right or not, again, I can't make the Memphis call. I can make the Chicago call because I know it better. And I would do the exact same thing. Portland, Oregon, a little bit different. That's a far left Antifa situation that I'm not quite sure needs federal troops right now. And it's kind of died down out there a little bit. I used to work at Portland, so I know the city. But it is a very interesting controversy that's been politicized. And when I read a book called Confronting Evil, there are two types of evil, guys. Individual evil, we saw that Charlie Kirk assassination. That Ukrainian war to death. And then there's collective evil. And the four guys I have on the cover of my book are Putin, Hitler, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Mao Zedong. And then we have 11 others inside the book. And those people are mass murderers. But evil is evil. And I want people to recognize it and, if possible, take steps against it.
Bill, you've written so many best-selling books. Bill O'Reilly's joining us on Memphis Morning News. As I read Confronting Evil, in my back of my mind, I'm keeping a running tally of the death toll through this. As you're doing the research on this, did that ever just hit you? I know you're looking at facts and getting everything correct, but those numbers that just jump off the page, and this is one of the books that I've read in your series that's just like, wow. I mean, when you say Confronting Evil, you're not tap dancing around this. You go straight to it.
Yeah, man, we always do. I read the book. My books take a year to research and write. So this time last year, I was looking around for a follow-up to Confronting the Presidents, and I just noticed that in the United States and overseas, there was a rise in evil. What does that mean? It means that here in New York, where I live, violent criminals were not being punished. I mean, it's staggering. And that's it's evil on the part of the violent criminal and on part of the elected officials to say, you know what, we're not going to bother with this. Society's at fault, so we're not going to really be aggressive in trying to control crime. And I said, this is on the rise, and it is. L.A., San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Baltimore, St. Louis, Memphis, on and on and on. And then I said the only other time in modern history that this has happened was in the 1930s, early 1930s, after the Great Depression hit. And we saw a rise in evil all over the world, and that led to World War II. 100 million people dead. 100 million. And then after that, Stalin slaughters countless millions in Russia, and Mao Zedong kills 20 million of his own people, a lot of them by starvation. He starves them to death because he wanted a whole different China, and these people were expendable according to Mao. And when I went to China in May, there's Mao's picture all over the place. You can imagine if an American had killed 20 million Americans, you think his picture would be all over the country? I don't think so.
No. But that's finna happen. All right, that's finna happen. Ugly ass nigga, man. Nigga ugly as hell. But that's finna happen. Why? Because when you go into the Georgia Guidestone, right? It's written on the Georgia Guidestone, all right, dealing with the depopulation. All right, it said they want the world to be under 500 million. Look at them. They got no fucking cure in the world. Salakia. But yeah, dealing with the Georgia Guidestone, all right, it's written that the population under 500 million. All right, I did a lesson a while back. All right, they were speaking of them bringing this technology, all right, them bringing these plagues is to depopulation the whole world. What is depopulation? I mean, you're gonna what? Take out a lot of people. You're gonna kill a lot of people. What about the poison, the food, the water, the air, all right, or even by military force. As you seeing, they setting up the stage dealing with the National Guards everywhere in every state. So this is very well going to happen. Yeah, you just heard he said it happened in China, but guess what? They finna do it in America. That's what Jacob Trouble is about. The beginning of sorrows, the beginning of great mourning, the beginning of famine. Because what is famine? Famine is what? The lack of bread and water. You see that? The beginning of famine and great death, because a lot of people going to starve to death to the point they're going to fight and try to, rational food and do this and do that, and they ain't going to be able to. And they're going to cause them to be put to death, fighting against the government. That's uproars of the people, sedition among men. See, all this coming to America. Yeah, it's happening in other countries, but when it comes to America, that's the end of it, because it's prophesied for Babylon the Great. It's known as Jacob Trouble. It's
a decline of church going and religion in America and in Western Europe. So when I was a kid, I went to Catholic school, and the nuns just, this is right, this is wrong. If you do this, you're going to hell. On and on and on and on. Okay, that's maybe simplistic, but there was definitely, for every urchin in that school, a line. And the line was, we don't lie, we don't steal, we don't beat people up for, whatever. And if we do, we're going to be held to account. That line is obliterated now. And people don't draw conclusions based upon a moral right and a moral wrong.
Yeah, Salaka, because I'm going to take it in a second. So I want to get this precept right quick and make sense of it. This is Habakkuk 2:15. It said, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, and that drink going into the wine, which is philosophies. All right? Basically, his unrighteous decrees, his unrighteous laws, the shit that he set forth through the media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, you take that's a fault of a drinking. All right? Because the customs. All right? So woe to them that give his neighbor drink, pressing him to the bottom. And basically, what the so-called white man put out, all right, through these music videos, all right, through these movies, through the entertainment system, all right, that's indulging our people. That's why I say the righteous is excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduces them. See, because us as being Israelites, we righteous, all right, but the ways of this world seduces, all right, our mind to think and want that we need this, we need that, all right. And look how the TV, look how the music, look how the movies, all right, dealing with the entertainment industry have polluted the minds of the people, right? Going up in that the early 80s, the late 90s, even now to 2000. Look at the generations, look at the people, look at the young kids. All right, if it ain't on TV or it ain't on the music or video, then they don't want to wear it. It ain't right. It's not the style. It's not the, how Jake said. Because why? They've been giving that wine, they've been giving that drink, that strong drink, which is wickedness. But who did it though? The so-called white man. And who owned the music industry? Who owned the bullshit? Let me just say it like that, because I say music, dealing with the movies, TV shows. Who owned Hollywood? All right, let me say it like that. Who owned Hollywood? We know who owned Hollywood, the small hats. All right, and what they do, they give their neighbors, which are those in the world, strong drink. But it says, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth out bottles to him and maketh him drunken. You see that? Now our people have become drunk because all they know is what? Violence, wickedness, evil, adultery. You see, they don't know the righteousness of the Lord. But how they became about like that? Through what? All right, through the internet. See what's being pushed out, the vibration that was pushed out, all right, in these movies, in these TV shows, in these music videos. what they see on TV, what they see in the world. They have become drunk. That's why Jeremiah 9:6, thy habitation is in the midst of deceit. But through deceit, through the lies, all right, guess what? They refuse to know the Lord. So our people have been drunken with the philosophies of this world, man. But it says, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and making him drunken also, that they may look on their nakedness, man. All right, and now that's why Esau Edom known the accuser of thy brethren. All right, because he put the drugs in the neighborhood. He put the guns in the neighborhood. All right, he let people become, you know what I'm saying, gay and this and that. All right, and then go complain. Look at your people. Right? But who gave us that? Who ruled the world? Who in control of other policies? Who in control of the media? You see? That's why they're going to be guilty and the Lord going to slap the shit out of them, man. But only he who will let till he be taken out of the way. So the Most High allowing this devil to do all these things because what? Evil got to be brought on the earth. As this man got a book called Confronting Evil, which they the evil ones. All right? Yeah, that's right, GMS in the likeness. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 15. I got a video. Check this video out right here. I don't know what city state this is, but you can tell, hey, they had enough. Check this out. They on the police ass. See that? 2nd Ezra 15:16. For there shall be sedition among men that invade one another, and they shall not regard their king nor princes. And that's exactly what you see. They ain't regarding the kings and the princes, man. The police. All right, and you know what they got going coming to Memphis. But it said what? The course of their actions shall stand in their power. People are getting tired, man. It's more to this video, but it show you this going down. All right, and more likely this is what's gonna be going on in Memphis very soon, because today is the first day that the National Guard is gonna put boots on the ground in Memphis. All right, along with other task force. But we're gonna see what it's gonna be. You know, so let's continue to watch. Well, let's pray. All right, to Yahweh Shema Shah, that we be accounted worthy to escape, man, because we're gonna need, all right, a defender on our side coming to these hard and evil times, man. All right, till next time, Shalom, Abba Bob, Baraka Akim. May the Lord team bless y'all morning.